Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the RationalInvestor.com's Daily Brief Recap. It's Friday today. It's a Good Friday, so for all the Christians in the audience, happy holidays, I guess. I don't know. Fortunately, I think it's supposed to be kind of like a sad day. So I can understand they're feeling challenged in this world. Good luck to the Pope. And I guess that whole Iraq visit just went fine. Never did really hear anything that came of that. As for the market, we had basically the market get bid up overnight into, I think, what was like an anticipation of a pretty strong employment report coming out of the States. And I kind of saw the buy program kick in coming out of the Japanese lunch break last night. And I was tweeting out, "Holy Jesus, here comes the money." The whole market just lifted right across the board. So we spent some time in the daily brief sort of going over that. Probably a bunch of rhetoric from Brian today. So I like to sprinkle in like trading ideas along with sort of, context of sort of the world that we live in. Does it sort of make sense what's going on? Ironically enough, if you actually sort of walk through everything that's going on, it actually makes a heck of a lot of sense. It's kind of depressing, but it also makes a lot of sense. So, I was, that employment report, like I said, came back pretty strong. So, market, like I said, kind of like buy the rumor, sell the news. The market was very strong sort of on the futures open. And literally on the dissemination of that news event, boom, the whole damn market stopped on a dime because technically this is supposed to be a holiday. So, our breadth indicators, they were kind of pointing up here in the short term anyway, and the market sure feels strong, and I think the stock market finished fairly strong yesterday. Of course, our crypto is our leading indicator, and I think probably I'm going to be talking to you guys more and more off of these charts. Still pointing up. Maybe a little bit overdone here in the short term. Tough to say, but we did get actually a buy signal in the breadth. So, feeling positive. The only problem here is don't chase. So, through these kind of events, we did have setups sort of setting up, and a lot of setups actually were banging into short-term profit objectives, short-term move stop to scratch objectives on setups, meaning, if the market does fall apart here now, we can walk away at scratch, those kind of trade setups. So, actually, I was quite pleased. In this kind of environment, you're going to have the little ones popping off. And I think that's sort of the sweet spot of this market right now, good old NFTs. And we had just a fabulous presentation by one of Kevin's buddies, Chris, recently. And I'm still trying to figure out where to find a home. Hey, Kevin, if you happen to have the video the day we did this daily brief, I wouldn't mind putting it in the library. I noticed I couldn't find it in the library.
Yeah, sure, I'll get it.
Yeah, thanks, man. If anything, it shouldn't surprise. Yeah, this is one that I banged out another double on. And I mean, this is ridiculous. We buy these things down here, and we're selling them here. This is nuts. I mean, this is certifiable. This thing has worked out now to basically, I think my average was like 4.5 cents, somewhere in that neighborhood. And you can see we're selling at like 60, 70 cents here today. I mean, these numbers are ridiculous. But what the hell, I suppose if you're going to force me to make money, I guess I will. The only problem, the one reason why I don't really like selling right now is because I'm going to have to fucking pay taxes on these goddamn gains. I'd rather just be invested. And, slow and steady wins the race. And over years, you're spoon feeding. I hate when they just go parabolic straight up like this. Because then I'm going to have a big old bloody accounting job at the end of the year. I suppose there's worse problems to have in life, eh? But this is the type of market state we're in. I mean, it's just nuts. I'll be tweeting out, banging out doubles, blah, blah, blah. And if anything, this is a really good example where We actually had like a site member. I think, Kevin, you said it was David who made a pretty good sales presentation to, well, not sales. I don't want to use that word. Just a presentation. Hey, I like this idea. If you're interested, join me. If not, man, no biggie. Yeah, David made a presentation to us here last fall, and so we're all like, okay, let's go throw some bids in. Let's pick some up. And I mean, okay, that's, it's not a bad move from like, what, 200-300 up to 1100-1200 here. I mean, it's not bad. It's just because Bitcoin itself is also rallying. That's the kind of rate of return we're looking at. And I mean, I love you dearly, Bitcoin, but you haven't given me 20x. I mean, you haven't. So I'm more than happy to continue my funny altcoin games if I continue to see that kind of crazy ass performance. And the worst part about this is I sat there forever just going, I don't care whether you come in here. I don't care whether you come in here. I don't care whether you come in here. I mean, the really slick, insane market technicians, right? They're coming in off this W here and getting all crazy excited. But hopefully you can see just even here. You could have come in here. You could have come in here, nanny nibbles, little old ladies, blah, 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 blah. And there's the end result. I mean, are you here to make money from trading? Or are you here to be part of the popular kids? Now, sadly, the popular kids now are probably coming in and buying this, and you're going to see social media about how wonderful their product is, and they're going to change the world. But that's not making money from trading. Ironically enough, especially in this venture capital space, making money from trading is all about forcing yourself to step in at the bottom end of ranges when nobody wants any of this shit. And altcoins are dead, and this is shit, and it's all a big scam and a ripoff. Well, I mean, sadly, that's the game of capitalism. So you got to learn that if you want to make money from trading. Now, maybe you don't. Maybe you just want to invest in this story and forget about it. I don't have a problem with that. Just my number one rule is don't risk more than 5% of the amount of money you're working with on any one single idea. It's a potion for disaster when you go all in on anything. All right, rant. So we're into sort of the long weekend right now. As I had sort of said, publicly there in tweets and stuff like that, it really felt like the bulls sort of caught a really nice bid there overnight. But it kind of also feels that once we hit that sort of jobs report, the whole market just went yawn. So there was the breakout from last night, but you can see momentum just went big fat M's. And, and I put a tweet out earlier today just simply saying, well, you know what we're supposed to think if you ever see that damn RSI going M here. Really, you're probably best served just to wait for some sort of new WE type action before getting too excited. So there's your corn, all right? But I don't think this is the corn market. I mean, the corn looks great, and, it's 50 to 60 Gs. And if anything, this is exactly what you altcoiners like, right? You like the corn to set up a trading range so that all the other little guys can all go nuts. And that's kind of the market that I think we're in. As you can see, there's a bunch of green here. And like I said, we are banging out doubles. And I could go through lots. In fact, actually, through the daily brief, I pulled up one symbol, and I couldn't believe what it looked like when I pulled the symbol up, that I just went and bought it. I just said, "Fuck it, I gotta have some of this. I gotta buy it." So that's the one actually that I just stepped in and just said, you know what, screw it, I want more. Just because I like this W. This is like an hourly chart. I love W's. When I saw that W, I just went, I want it. Just give me it. Give me. Not necessarily a trade setup, kind of coming in at the top end of the range off lower time frames. This is more a comment about that. I mean, gee whiz, look at that chart. Ay caramba. So I stepped in, and I saw this today, and I went, fuck it, man, I want more. Beautiful W, bottom end of the range, momentum's pointing up, W's in momentum. I just want it. Gimme. So actually, through the video call, I actually went and FOMO bought up to 805. So gee whiz, did I ever overpay. But also, too, keep in mind, I actually have more bids working down below. It's just son of a bitch difficult to get filled on this thing. So I just went and grabbed some more. I saw that W and I was just like, I want it. Give me it. Give me, give me, give me, give me. So I live by the sword, die by the sword. If anything, what I really like about what I do is I'm an open book. Don't really have any motivation to shill you anything because there's not really anything to shill. You want to learn how to become a trader? Fine. We got like a bare bones program. We pay out a good portion of the money to 100 different people that work on the site, so it's not like we're making a fortune off of it. And it will teach you how to be a fucking killer trader if you want to do it. It's going to take like the next year of your life where you got to work day in, day out. No, I'm not going to con you. This is hard work. But the way that I get rewarded from this is if I can show best practices, then that means I'm making money from trading. And I trade my own money. I mean, if that's a W and that's a buy, and I tell you that's a W and that's a buy, well, shouldn't I be doing that with my own money? So, having said that, they'll probably run the stops, but I like this company so much, and this chart is just insane. I mean, look at that. That's ridiculous. That I'm more than happy to just accumulate. And you know me, I'm not going to put more than 5% of my net worth into anything. But if I was going to go up to a 5% limit, this is not a bad idea to be thinking like that. But anyway, it is what it is. If you want to join me on the trade, great. If you don't, I'm not going to be insulted. Won't take any offense either way. And of course, I'm not telling you to buy or sell anything. I couldn't care what you buy or sell. Let's see. Anything else? It's interesting how I've been sort of barking about this XTZ. And this is probably a really good example where, had you, bought trader, there's nice little W's, 3 higher lows, whatever. There's not really much going on in the market right now. You're in, right? Now you've moved your stop to scratch, probably right off of that double bottom level. And you're just sitting there, just in a trade, in a setup, just it doing its thing. Whether you choose how much you choose to take profits at the ultimate objective, it's up to you. You don't have to sell it all. You could sell like a third of it, a quarter of it, half of it, whatever. That's all about you and your trading plan. And I think the way I look at it here is there are a lot of things setting up. If you want to participate, great. If you're kind of like, well, I'm just going to tune in, that guy says buy it and you'll make money. I don't like that kind of thinking, and I think that's dangerous. I would like to see empowerment. I'd like to see you make rational decisions on your own. So I'm not going to be the type of guy that's going to say, hey, buy my coin, you're instantly going to make money. I'll never do that because that's just not the type of person I am. I actually told you something I did buy today. So if you can say, well, do I get any actual usable information out of this? Well, if you feel like joining me, awesome. If you don't, I won't be insulted. Actually, this is a really great example. I was showing the site earlier today of me just really liking an idea. And of course, I've got market structure. This thing's got plenty of room to move up. Working bids and reload zones, split them apart. I'm in. I don't know what's going to happen next. Wish me luck. It's just a trader's life. So I'm not quite sure what else to tell you guys here today. It's the holiday period here, so be careful. Like all these kind of markets, they're all closed for the next few days. It's crypto Wild West. So just be careful. Buy W's. Make sure you see W's in your indicators. Try not to buy the top ends of ranges. You usually get crushed when you do that. And if you can somehow sneak in at the bottom, look at that. They're actually fire sailing UBIC now. 787. You can get in substantially lower than where I bought. So if that kind of idea appeals to you, you got some food to chew on. Food to chew on? No. Ideas, information to chew on. There's a bunch of W's all coming in off of these little ones. So you can't say there isn't lots of stuff to consider out there. And hey, you never know. Even crazy things like Doge might actually even be setting up new setups. I don't really like the idea of chasing this thing up here. Actually, it just made a new low there, right? So probably got to see a little bit more construction here. Yeah, I'm going to take that off the table. I don't like the look of that. Sorry. And I certainly wouldn't be putting new money there. Yeah. I mean, this is a fun little shopping list that I built a year or two ago on names that I've been accumulating and flipping sell-offs on doubles and stuff. So it's not really like this is like my number one list. It's just a cool list that I... what's the date of this? Yeah, I think like I originally put this together back in like 2019. So, it's just one shopping list. You know what I like to do now, because this market's so damn hot, is I'll just peruse the most actives on my Trex account and the Binance account and just, see what's hopping out there. Here's actually one that I did buy the other day. Cute little, gee whiz, higher highs and higher lows. That looks like that's the kind of thing I want to be doing. And I think I bought this as versus Bitcoin over there on Binance. Yeah, look at that chart. Is that the bottom end of a range? Is it worth throwing, 0.01, 0.02 BTC at this? Could I possibly see, from 700, even just paying today's price, that's 1,400. Sometime, we're heading into the silly season here in crypto. So sometime over the next, say, 6-8 months, is it realistic that we might see this thing trade up into here? I think the odds are pretty good. And ironically enough, this is exactly the same logic as stepping in off of this crazy thing. You just never know. But if I can force myself to come in at the bottom end of ranges, can this kind of volatility produce those risk-free trade positions? And of course, if you do that, then once you get the risk-free trade, then who cares? Sky's the limit. Who knows where the hell the market will go? All right, so I got to hop and post banging out doubles tweets on my CVC trade. Woohoo! Thank you, Mr. Market. Appreciate the capital gain. And actually, this is a pretty big trade too. It wasn't small. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. And I guess I'll see everybody on Sunday for some broiler chickens. Get out there and have some fun. PMA for the win. All the best, and bye for now.